You'll
We're
have
in
to
extra
start,
time.
You'll have to start by explaining all your Cockney rhyming slang. What's a
Have a
butcher's?
butcher's is like
Earlier
to have
you said
a look.
Scooby. Earlier you said
A Scooby-Doo.
doesn't have a Scooby.
Well,
Yeah,
Craig
so
can
you have to
explain
explain
the Scooby
that to
because I
our
don't actually
layman
know
viewers.
the Scooby. I know the butcher's means like a butcher's hook, which is like have a look.
Have a look.
But the Scooby, I don't know where that
Scooby-Doo.
comes from.
Well,
A Scooby-Doo.
yes. I mean, Jules lives in London. You lived in London for a little bit. Shaq lived. We've all lived in London.
Yeah.
But I went there when I was 16, and I lived with a family, Ken Von Patterson, and in North London, and every sentence was Cockney rhyme.
Yep.
So as a youngster, you just sort of picked up on it, and I, to this day, still use some of it.
Yeah.
And people just look at me and go, "What the hell does that mean?" Like up the apples and pears, stairs.
Oh, see, I didn't know that one. I know the mince pies, which means your eyes.
Eyes.
But I learned that one from Stevie Nicol. How much time in London did Stevie spend?
No, but it's food, innit? Food.
It's food.
Yeah, that's.
I should have known that.
Cockney rhyme, Scooby. And when I said Scooby in the show, that they don't have a Scooby-Doo, it meant they didn't have a clue. I'm presuming, I mean, Scooby-Doo was big in America, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yes.
Scooby-Doo's
big everywhere.
Scooby's
Right, anyway.
Yeah.
Look at
Late in
that.
Switzerland.
It's late in Switzerland. Jules wants to go to bed soon. All right, let's get into this, right? This one from Brandon. Did Brentford just commit robbery by taking 75+ mil from United, or is that price justified in today's market for what Mbeumo offers? Jules?
I think if you look at wide players or wingers, because that's what he is. I know he's going to play as an inside 10 in that system, but he's a wide player, really. This is what they cost, between 60 and 70 million, and this is 65 plus 6 million in bonuses. We'll explain that on the show. This is what you will pay for Eze. This is what you pay for Olise. This is what you pay for those kind of wingers, even if they come from a club like Brentford, so not your top club. Plus, you always pay a bit more when it's an English club to an English club. So that's why is that. Do you think it's too much? Maybe, but if Mbeumo scores 20 goals and has 8 assists next season in the Premier League for United, it won't be too much. So it's, again, the price is always what then the players provide for it. That then we decide if it's too much or not too much.
Someone that scores 20 goals a season, I'll take it. I'll take it.
To Brentford's point, Manchester United paid what, 62, 65 for Cunha? You're right to ask for more. You're not going to ask for less. Just on a pure principle. If I'm a selling club, just say it.
All right. Shaka.
That's my contribution
That's
to this.
Shaka's contribution to this. Next question. Does it matter that Leverkusen lost 5-1 to Flamengo's under-20 team in Ten Hag's first game in charge? Craig, does it matter?
Well, I don't have in front of me, I don't know what the Leverkusen team was. But it's certainly, at the very least, it's far from ideal.
Yeah.
At the very minimum.
Not 5.
Well, not anything losing to, you don't expect to lose. It's a bit like having the first team take on the under-18s or under-20s at your club, be it West Ham, Chelsea, wherever it is, and you get beat in a training ground game. It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? So, and bearing in mind, you know, Xabi Alonso is gone, you know, Jonathan Tah is gone, Florian Wirtz is gone. So they've lost some key components, and then they bring in Erik Ten Hag, who has spent time in Germany before coaching, but obviously, you know, then had a good spell at Ajax and a very bad spell, or a bad spell at Manchester United. There's a lot of eyes on him. A lot of eyes on him, and the chances of him recreating anything close to what Xabi Alonso did are very slim, because that squad has changed now, and what they did was incredible. But you know, losing in a pre-season game in this manner it doesn't do anything for the doubters out there about the decision to hire Ten Hag.
To Flamengo under-20s. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 5 goals. I don't know. I think
Former Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag.
Stop it. Who won trophies, though? Who won trophies, though?
I'm just putting that to you,
Shaka,
Alexis.
I was trying to start off as a happy, positive, and Craig brought back some positivity to say that I pronounce
Won't last.
things better than Dan.
Won't last from Craig. It won't last from Craig.
The positivity.
I have to be honest, I'm running out of it as we speak. I can, as I'm sure you will know, As I'm sure you well know, I can spin on a dime. It only takes a word. Or
20 seconds.
it takes something for me to spin. I mean, Jekyll and Hyde have got absolutely nothing on me here.
Don't we know it? But we love him for it. We love him for it. It's just, you never know what you'll get. It's like a Pandora's box. It's a surprise every day. Next question for the guys. If you were...
What are you laughing at?
Sorry, Craig running out of patience. If you were earning massive wages of like 200,000 to 300,000 a week, but weren't getting the game time, would you take a big pay cut just to get back on the pitch?
That depends on a lot of things. How old you are, how big is a big pay cut, who's the club you're going to. There's a lot of kind of points as to
if you were, for example, in a Marcus Rashford situation,
right?
Would
It's
you?
a very difficult one.
Because he's going to have to take a pay
I tell you
cut.
now, and this is only my opinion. This is a very difficult. I think it's a very difficult argument to opine on. And I tell you why. Because everybody's different. And Marcus Rashford, love him or hate him, like him or dislike him, he negotiated an excellent contract with Manchester United. So he's under no obligations to take a pay cut. And who are we to say, save your career? Take a 40% cut, take a 30% cut and go play somewhere else. That's fine in reality. But we now get into the grounds of how much money do they need against what kind of career do they want to have. So it's a very difficult. I think it's easy to sit here on the outside and say, take a pay cut and go and play. It's kind of easy to say that. But deep down, he has earned that contract, and United gave him it. So it's a difficult scenario to be in, I think personally.
I agree. But let's say, for instance, and just to make the numbers easy, let's say Marcus Rashford is going to be earning 3 million over the next 3 years. His contract is to 2028, I think I'm right in saying, right? So he's got 3 years to run. If, again, for argument's sake, he's going to make 3 million over the next 3 years. If it were me and my agent came and said, all right, Club X is going to pay 3 million over 4 years, that's something I could do. That I'm not losing out financially in that regard. Is adding a year on to what I'm guaranteed, so I'm still guaranteed that money. I could make that move. But if you're saying to me, I'm due 3 million over the next 3 years, go to this club for 4 and you make 1.5, then no, that's not adding up.
I was taking a pay cut to leave Derby actually in the last year because John Gregory wanted me out, and I'd agreed a deal with Nottingham Forest. Paul Hart was the manager at the time, and I agreed a 3-year deal, and it was a huge drop in wages. But Derby were making some of it up and leaving. But I had negotiated, or I thought I had, the fact that within that 3-year deal, if Forest got promoted to the Premier League, I got a bonus to get a portion of that back. So it was incentivised. And the chief executive at Forest at the time turned it down. He said, no, why would we pay a bonus? And I said, because, I may help you, or maybe I wouldn't, but I may help you get to the Premier League, and you're currently in the playoffs and the Championship, but I don't get, and I couldn't figure this out. Nottingham Forest and Paul Hart wanted to do the deal, but I couldn't figure out why anybody wouldn't go for this deal. If they never got promoted, and they never got whatever it is, 100 million from the Premier League, whatever it is they get, I was getting diddly squat, nothing.
Justice for Craig.
So I never quite understood why that was an issue, because if there's no success, then there's no financial payout. But I was taking a pay cut to do it, but it was incentivised. And whether that could happen to some of these players, I don't know. It's an incentivised basis. I would imagine when they're on that kind of money, the answer would be probably no. But Marcus Rashford's not going to get the kind of wages he's getting at Man United somewhere else, unless Paris Saint-Germain or somebody comes in, and by the looks of them, they don't need any players.
Exactly. Jules, this next question is for you. Which team finishes higher next season, Arsenal or Chelsea?
Oh, it's a great question. if it's the Chelsea that we saw in the Club World Cup final against PSG, that good tactically, with their individual players at the top of the game, I think they can really compete well in the Premier League. I still think Arsenal will finish higher than them, but we saw something really interesting there. The problem is, I'm not sure how much we will see that kind of performance again, both tactically, individually, collectively from Chelsea. I'm still not too sure about Maresca, although I think he won a lot of people over with that final and how well he prepared for it. But let's see, at least you've got some momentum going into the season with that Club World Cup. So let's hope the players are not too tired from a Chelsea point of view. They don't get bad injuries come October, November because of the Club World Cup. And then I think they will have a really good season. I still think Arsenal will finish above them.
This is a classic case, isn't it? And Frank, we were asked this on the Sunday in New York when we did the show after the Club World Cup. You were there, weren't you? Mm-hmm. And Frank was the same a little bit. When it was difficult, and I was like, I don't really think it is. You know, people are getting carried away. The Club World Cup, they won it. They played great in the final. PSG looked as if they were shot and needed a rest. And there you go.
Craig's patience has run out. The lights have gone out.
And just this is absolutely
this is actually for real.
Oh, we're not late.
Power is back on. Semi-power is back on. This has to be the end of the show.
This is a first.
Craig,
this absolutely was a first.
You're like the Man United of YouTube shows.
Excuse me, Jules. We're not on YouTube now.
There's a leak in the roof.
When Alexis presents, this is what happens. He's the United.
This is because Craig said that he's running out of patience.
I don't want to cast aspersions out there, but this is just cast iron proof that ESPN haven't put the 50 cents in the meter.
Well, you know, at least it did that in extra time and not during our serious discussions.
Restart that, but not as long.
We did a show in New York.
We can wrap now.
Easy.
I'll forget the New York part because the lights are a bit iffy. Club World Cup, great. PSG, not the same team in the final. Chelsea maybe played a part of that. Arsenal have been, by far, the second best team in England and almost the best team over the last couple of years. And have signed some really good players and maybe sign a couple more. So they have, guess what? They have also strengthened quite some. Chelsea, I think, are going to have a better season, but that you cannot gauge it off the Club World Cup. So I think that gap between them and Arsenal is still there because Arsenal will be the team, possibly along with Man City, that are going to be the biggest threat to Liverpool. Maybe Chelsea will be, maybe, but guaranteed Arsenal will be the big threat, and maybe that will be City as well. So I don't see Chelsea finishing above Arsenal. I think if they finish above Arsenal, they potentially could win the league.
All right, well, we've got to get off because the lights are threatening to go off again. And when the lights start to dim, Shaka Hislop has a tendency of falling asleep.
What?
So we're gonna head on out, but you can join us again tomorrow on ESPN.
I do not need dim lights right now.
We are on every day of the week on ESPN.
There's a lot of dim people on this show.